Hey guys, and welcome back to the Traders Show. So today, Ken and I have a special guest that we'll be introducing. Today we are not talking much about the financial markets. We'll be talking about other things, which is still another market in its own. But it's also important for you guys to understand that here at the Traders Show, we call it the Traders Show because we like trading ideas. It's not all about just talking about investments in the financial markets. It's also understanding other avenues as entrepreneurs, business people, and how you can also generate income in other ways. Because still in the financial markets, we do invest in companies and companies do different things. So at the core of it, it's important to understand what other businesses do in order to understand them. Cool. So I'll let Ken introduce himself, then I'll do the intro and we can get right into it.
So hi guys, like Caleb has said, welcome to another shoot. My name is Akian for those who are not familiar with me. For those who have watched a couple of episodes, I'm sure you've interacted with both me and Caleb. So like he said, today we're joined by a guest. We're always eager to learn from different people in different fields doing different things. By the end of the day, there are things that will cross and you'll pick one or two things that you can even apply in your field. But more importantly, you'll also realize there are pockets of opportunities in different places. And this will allow you to also expand your mind and think about what you can also do in these other places. And more importantly, you could also benefit from the product that has been developed by our guest today. So there is a lot that you're going to learn in this episode, and I hope as you start up, you have your notebook or you have your phone close to you so that you can pick one or two things that you'll implement.
Cool. So before our guest introduces himself, I'll give a brief bio about who he is. David Kimani is the co-founder at Nestie. He's a serial entrepreneur whose journey started early, selling silver jewelry while in campus. He began his professional journey as a software developer before moving into business analysis, where he contributed to major projects, including rolling out Airtel Money across several African markets, including Malawi, Gabon, Burkina Faso, and Zambia, as well as projects at the Central Bank of Kenya and Safaricom. While juggling employment, he founded VK Holiday Deals and scaled it to 120 million Kenya shillings in annual bookings by 2023, all without external funding and a lean team of 5. VK's innovation earned recognition as the winner of the Innovative Business category at the SME Business Plan competition hosted by the European Investment Bank and Strathmore University back in 2019. This milestone set the stage for his most ambitious mission yet, co-founding Nestie. Nestie is reshaping Africa's rental economy by transforming rent from a sunk cost into a credit-building tool and path to home ownership. Their goal is to help millions of renters build credit visibility and unlock access to affordable rent-to-own homes and mortgages. The company's one-of-a-kind approach secured it a finalist spot at the 2022 Africa Prop Tech Startup Competition alongside growing recognition in the prop tech industry. Other fun facts about David include attempting online forex trading, summiting Mount Kilimanjaro, and running a 21-kilometer marathon. So all that and more, David will share with us. But other than that, David, welcome to the Traders Show. I hope I've done justice there by what I've said.
Asante sana. Thanks for having me. Keyword there on the forex trading is attempted.
No problem.
Attempted, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Today we want to talk about different stuff.
Yeah.
Our audience have heard a lot about forex and investments. Today, let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
Now, thanks to Paperstone, Financial Hub is going to be having live trading sessions on Tuesdays every week. Mind you, this is not a signals group. This one will be specifically for anyone who's deposited their money using our link with Paperstone and deposited money in their own account. Now, if you look at the description below, there's a link where you can open a Paperstone account. Once you open a Paperstone account, you deposit either $100 or $250 to get the top tier access to the financial course, which you get to understand how we trade. What will the students gain from all this? One, you'll gain clarity in the process. patience training. We'll be teaching you a lot of patience training depending on the time frame you trade, the pairs you trade. Risk management in action. We'll be talking a lot about the trade management skills and how I manage a trade. We'll be looking at real market conditions and experience the market as it is. And I'll see you on the other side. So welcome. Thank you for sparing your time to come. And hopefully in the next couple of minutes, we are together. We can share good ideas that people will learn from, and hopefully also become clients at Nestie. So just give us a background. What inspired you? How did you start Nestie? We've gone through your bio, juju, but you give us the story behind it. So give us the meat. We've just seen the skeleton.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can give you the blended story or maybe the made up story of how we knew from day one. But to be honest, Nestie has taken a couple of pivots for it to be what it is. Mm-hmm. So essentially, my co-founder was managing tenants at that time. And what was happening is that just that end of month cycle of collecting rent was such a hassle that she was trying to figure out, how do I get quality tenants? Mm-hmm. So at that time, what we decided is, can we create a solution that is able to score tenants to determine whether they're quality in terms of can they pay rent on time, are they people who will disturb? And what we came up with was a rent score for tenants, which now landlords can use to determine if this is someone who will be a good tenant for them. Mm-hmm. So what happened is we were a bit early for our time.
What year was this?
This was 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
So around 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we were a bit early for our time because our agenda was, let's go to landlords, inform them that we have this solution. You can take this solution, assess tenants, and now reduce your whole hassle of end-month collection. Mm-hmm. But they didn't see the need at that time. For them, it was just, let me get my deposit. Mm-hmm. So we figured, how can we now just switch this to serve the tenants themselves first, as now we try and figure out. So now we had to go through a pivot and came up with something whereby now potential buyers could use that rent score and we could match them with a home, which they can own at almost the same rate as the rent. So at that time, it was matching them to a marketplace with affordable properties and affordable home loans, whereby now they can pay over a long time, which is almost like how they pay their rent.
This is rent score now?
Rent score, exactly.
Okay.
So during that whole process, we kept on hearing from tenants, how do we get started? And there's a lot of people asking about that because we realized there's more tenants than people planning to buy, and the lack of information and know-how was quite a gap. So we figured we'll now create Nestie as now the app for tenants. But still, the whole core of the solution, which is the rent score, has always remained there through and through. So essentially, Nestie, what we're doing there, in the grander scheme of things, is we're shaping the rental economy, whereby we're enabling tenants to change rent from a sunken cost. Because I think we all rent here. Ama kuna watu wako na manyumba hapa.
Bado.
At the moment. Yeah.
So we all rent here.
Yeah. And most of the audience also.
Yeah. Most of the audience.
Yeah.
So personally, I've been renting for 10 years. So when I did my math, it was about 7M in rent. So that's a sunken cost. Money to my landlords.
Okay, so that's money gone.
Money gone.
Okay.
So what we're doing with Nestie is that money that you've been paying to your landlords, we are turning it from a sunken cost to something that can be a credit building tool for you to give you access to rent-to-own homes, affordable home loans, as well as alternative credit facilities. Especially for the orange economy. When I say the orange economy, this are gig workers, freelancers, contractors, people who just don't have a formal place to sleep because they've been locked out of mortgages.
True.
So that's what we're building with Nestie, and it's been picking up really well. A lot of good testimonials. So just to see how everything will turn out in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm a user as well. I think I've done it for the last 2-3 months.
Yeah.
So far, so good. Building the score to see how it goes. Because talking about the same, I don't think I've ever talked about my own real estate deals. But not that I have houses or anything. Yeah. But I'm also paying rent. And I was doing the calculation the other day. I think we were talking with Whitney and we were discussing. And anyway, I was coming up to the figures because currently where I am now, it's 2.5 years.
Yeah.
That's near over 1 point something million just in what you're saying, sunken cost.
Yeah.
And if it was, many people, especially at a young age, don't even think about owning homes.
Exactly.
So the first thing is let me just look for somewhere to stay. But when you do and this is just calculating the last 2.5 years, Ken and the rest, even if you go back when I moved out from my folks in 2018, so that's now almost 8 years, 7-8 years. If I do the whole math, it's even worse. So that's money gone, almost like what you're saying, the last 10 years. So what do you plan? How do you plan to especially what's your target audience? Is it the young age, the people? Because a lot of people who already, this is my thinking, I'd like to hear from your side, they're already ahead, like guys who are in corporate already paying certain loans, or they've taken a mortgage, or they have a family, they're already in that payment process. So who are you mainly targeting to get this rent score, and how will it benefit them?
Actually, it's everyone paying rent, from the person who's just left uni, even some in uni, because some people are paying rent now in their hostels, right? So anyone paying rent, it's to start creating that value from that point of view. And even when you talk about people paying mortgages, currently in Kenya, over 80% of people living in urban areas are renting. Last year only, even after the introduction of affordable mortgages, only 947 mortgages were issued.
947,000 or just
947 as the number.
900.
The whole country.
The whole country. And majority of those guys work in banks or employed in Gava. Total mortgages existing is 30,000. Out of that
the whole country.
The whole country.
So currently, the total mortgages that exist in this country are 30,000.
Exactly.
From the lowest to the highest.
Exactly.
The rest are just renting.
Rest are renting. Either someone is taking a circle loan here or buying land there to build incrementally or something of the sort. So what we're trying to tell guys is you can start this whole process early enough from whatever point you're renting. And there's different classes. So if you're renting early, obviously at 23, you don't need a house.
Yeah.
But still at that 23, one day, as you imagine in yourself somewhere in the future, you're planning for a house.
For sure.
So why don't you start using that right now? Over 10 years, you'll build a rent score. Even when you're moving, because the thing is, we're trying to give people that rent score utility today. So it's not about just buying the house eventually. So let's say you're moving somewhere in 3 years. Wherever you're going to, remember you'll have to ask your landlord for your deposit.
Yeah.
Go ahead and be asked for another 1 month deposit plus rent. And that's a serious amount. Plus all the furniture and the moving costs, etc. So we want to also give value whereby if you're moving and you have a good rent score, we can also plug you with finances to give you a good payment plan, maybe of 6 months to pay that deposit.
So let me just get you right. So what you're essentially saying is that in the coming future, probably you'll get to a point now where you've partnered probably with a microfinance or someone else, and you can be able to finance me based on the rent score that I have, that Ken has been paying this much in rent, so he can afford this much, and he'll be able to finance me as I'm moving into that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you pay it comfortably in the few months, still building your rent score.
Yeah.
As you're doing that, there's coaching within the app, whereby, as you guys, you're training people to trade forex. So for us, it's all about home ownership. So you're coaching whereby, as you continue to pay rent, we can even now just coach you to tell you this is what you can save. If you're paying 10K, you can put 1K aside, and that money is building up maybe towards a deposit towards a future home.
Okay.
So it's not just about owning; it's about the whole process towards owning.
Okay. So you're essentially helping someone understand how you can move from not knowing anything about home ownership to paying your own rent, moving from paying your own rent to saving in that, and then from saving in that to buying your own home, or probably even now stopping to pay rent.
Exactly. Okay. And then at the point of buying, so what we're seeing coming up is rent to own is becoming a popular aspect of selling homes.
Yeah.
So at that point, when you're switching, you can easily switch to a rent to own, whereby you just pay a deposit and then transition from renter to owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So the rent to own, how does that work exactly?
So essentially, it's just like a mortgage, to be honest, but now not dealing with a bank. You're dealing with a developer. Okay. So you have an agreement with the developer whereby you will pay a deposit towards the house, and then the balance you'll pay it over maybe a 10 to 15 year period.
The same way I've done with the bank.
Exactly, at a certain interest. So the interest varies depending developer to developer, but as you're paying your building equity in the house. So even if maybe you move out at some point, you can even get another tenant as long as you keep on paying the developer.
Oh, really? Yeah. There's such a perk where if you move out and someone else comes in, as long as they continue paying.
Because the place is essentially yours.
It's yours. Because you have a contract with the developer.
Okay. So whoever stays there, it's up to you.
Exactly.
As long as you're paying the developer the certain amount you've planned to the end.
Exactly. Because some people feel like when you think about rent to own 10 years, it's like you're bound. Because generally people move after every 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So as your income grows, as you get better in your career, even if you need to move out of the country, you can still continue on in the home, collect rent, and soon enough it's yours.
And I think those are those, like you're saying, if the app is able to educate people, those are those little, most people growing up, you never thought about real estate and anything about it. So I don't think many people have that idea of, I can actually still have rent to own or a mortgage, but I'm not actually staying there.
Yes.
And you have a couple, and that works actually better for you because other people are paying if you have a tenant and you get to own the house.
Yeah.
So is that like a strategy that people can use to own multiple houses?
Yes, it is. If you find yourself now whereby you finished one and now you're ready for the next, you can do that. Or your income has increased and you want to acquire another house, you can still do that. Some can even combine scenarios of rent to own and mortgage, depending on how your scenario is.
Okay. And Nestie,
what's the difference between the two? Rent to own and mortgage.
So within the mortgage, you're dealing with a bank directly. So you'll go and apply for financing from the bank. You identify your house. You go and apply for financing from the bank, submit all your documents. So now the bank pays the developer and you continue paying the bank.
Okay.
So a mortgage also, as much as people think you start paying a mortgage while the construction is ongoing, you can apply for the mortgage and then they pay the developer when the construction is complete. So you start paying the bank once you've moved into the house.
Okay. Okay.
And when did this concept come? Like, it sounds something like it never used to be there. Don't for developers actually giving out the rent to own.
Yes.
What sparked that? What made it? How did that start? Like, it sounds like so basic, like it could have been there from Kitambo. Why do people have to go through the bank? And the bank are quite...
Yeah, very good point.
People, yeah.
Very good point. Because now, the way rent to own is structured, it's like a financial product. It's like the developer is the financier.
Okay.
So essentially, when you're talking about normal projects, construction time is 2 to 2.5 years. So at that time, the developer wants to exit by selling the whole project. And some of these cases, you'll find them, they've taken loans with the banks.
Yeah.
So the loan requires maybe that 3-year period of repayment. But now when it comes to rent to own, the money will have been raised in different formats. So you'll have a developer maybe who's getting money from a private equity fund or a pension fund now, which has long-term view of money.
Okay.
So they can have the capacity to collect their funds pole as long as the return is good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. Because I'd see how that would work with probably when you're working with like something that has a 30-year maturity.
Exactly.
You can even now have collected your money back in the first decade and probably in the next 2 decades you're making something out of it. Not really everything, but something out of it.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
So that's a new risk the developers have taken.
Yes. But
upon
now
themselves.
they've done the financial projections and all the, what do you call it? The assessment to ensure that what they're getting into will be more value than risk to them. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'd be curious to ask what you think. I'm sure you probably have thought about it. Why do you think for the landlords? Because I see how what you're talking about would be valuable for me as a landlord. If I could be able to, if I give you a house, I can tell that for the last 5 years, this guy has always paid his rent on time, but this other guy probably has had challenges or like, I see how that would be very, very valuable.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to understand why would it not spark that same thing for the landlords? What do you think is the problem there?
Good point. Even us, we're wondering the same. So we now just had to sell it from a tenant point of view initially. Now, even just to tell the landlords how tenants are using it. So it came full circle. At that time, early for the market, 2022. Okay. So right now landlords are paying attention.
Okay.
So the landlords, we're also seeing paying attention now, the landlords with large portfolios, someone dealing with 3,000 tenants, 10,000 tenants. You see that someone who really, if 100 tenants mess him, that's his cash flow messed. And if it's a property manager who wants a commission
That's
And
even
it's
trouble.
even worse. So now these guys are suffering from the problem mainly as their portfolios grow.
Yeah.
So now they're seeing the need for it.
Okay.
So it's something also now we are also engaging developers,
the developers.
especially institutional developers and large developers who want now to use our solution for assessing tenants.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you make money?
So there's different scenarios.
Straight to the point.
It has to make business
When you
sense.
solve a problem, you're trying to make money, right?
It has to make business sense.
Yeah.
So number one is it's usually a transaction fee, what we call now a convenience fee for using the app. So at the point when you're paying rent, there's a fee that you pay along with the rent. So it ranges from 80 bob to 150 shillings depending on your rent amount. So why we call it a convenience fee is because you'll be able now to track your rent, build your rent score.
Yeah.
When we start plugging in, as we continue plugging in actually, because we've already started plugging in rent-to-own homes, as you continue plugging in rent-to-own homes, you have them there, so you don't have to go around hustling to nowhere.
Yeah.
Those rent-to-own homes can be plugged in to your affordability. If you're paying 30k rent and you have something here for that 5, you can be told this is something that's a good fit for you.
You can tailor. Okay.
Exactly.
Oh.
We're talking about now the training for savings. By the time you sit and tell myself I pay 10k rent, I'd rather put 1k rent here. Because we've integrated to Sanlam currently. You can just open an MMF, start saving.
Or directly.
Yeah, directly.
Through Nestie.
Through Nestie.
Okay.
So
you
that
pay
headache,
rent, then save.
then save.
Okay.
So that headache has been solved for you.
Okay.
Now, as you continue building up on your rent score, we bring in more partners. We're talking about the rent deposit financing. We're looking at how can we also reward people with loyalty points for paying their rent on time by working with partners. So if landlords want to incentivize the tenants, or maybe institutional developers want to incentivize their tenants,
You
how
can
we
do
get
it
that?
also.
So all this you're getting just from that convenience fee.
Okay.
Then from the landlord side, they usually pay per screen. So once it's screened someone, they pay.
Oh.
Once they do it?
The screening. The screening,
Okay,
the scoring.
Yes,
so it's
yes,
like
yes,
the way
yes.
someone does a check for CRB.
Okay.
So the landlords will use our platform to do the tenant scoring,
Yeah.
and they pay for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from what you're explaining to me, long-term thinking, Nestie is more of like a finance manager
To some extent. Now,
to some extent.
yeah, working
like
with...
it's helping someone
Yeah,
build your rent score,
exactly.
more or less. Get financing, like you're saying in the future, as people get their scores higher, help you put money in a money market fund. All those things integrated together is more or less you're helping someone manage their finances, the core stuff.
Exactly. So we like to call it... because there's two ways now. We're doing that through the rental economy. Because there's some other guys who use utility, others use maybe your bank statements. So as it's through your rent. Your rent is your financial passport here. And then now
Yes.
it becomes now like a household operating system for you individually. Because your rent usually is tied to where your kid goes to school.
Yeah.
Your rent is tied to where you shop. Your rent is tied to how you pay your utilities.
Even how you live.
Even how you live. Exactly.
Even
Even
how
your
you-
entertainment and all that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's what we're using now to help you operate now your household.
Okay.
Yeah.
And given that actually, if you look at most people's spending, about 30 or 40% of most people's income goes to their rent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And apparently, as much as I'm spending that much on my income there, I'm not getting any benefit at all from me spending that much money there. But now you're coming in and you're trying to show me that don't worry that much. We can help you do one or two things given this amount that you've been using there.
Exactly.
And so what data points will you look at when you're calculating? Let's say I've come in, I always pay my rent before 4th, but I'm paying 10K. Kale pays his rent 10th, but he pays 70K. I would want to assume he has a better rent score than mine because of the amount of money he's spending.
Yeah. What does rent score track exactly, apart from the money aspect?
Yeah. So it's not that straightforward math, because even there's someone who's paying 10K and they pay 3 times a month. That guy he should still be valid for being told he has a good rent score because he settles, right? So there's a couple of things we look at, but I won't get deep into the IP.
No problem. Yeah.
Trade secrets here.
Proprietary technology.
So a couple of things. Initially, it's just when you pay rent, arrears that you have,
The date of when you pay rent.
date of when you pay according to, compared to now when your landlord needs the payment.
Okay.
Based on the agreement
Exactly. The arrears that you have, and then now we pick up on other behavioral patterns in terms of how you pay. Yeah.
Also, you
among
collect
others.
data.
Yes.
So essentially a data company.
Yes, we have the, we're not a data company,
Yeah.
but we have all the
Data.
compliance licensing for that.
For you to use the data.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which is good, in today's world, data is everything. Like in the long term, just like what you say, Facebook didn't start as a data company, but now it's a data company.
Yeah.
X, the same. And that's what they use to monetize or do a lot of things that they do to make money here and there.
Exactly.
But I like that. But take me aback kidogo. The real estate industry. Because we've jumped directly into the Nestie and all that. But just take me a step behind, especially for the audience and I as well and Ken. Is it an industry you'd advise? Now, real estate as a business. Chana na mimi kulipa rent. Now, just educate us kidogo. Is it something you'd advocate for people to go into at a young age? How can they go into it as a whole? Because just to finish that point, because growing up tunaambiwanga tu the basic stuff. Nunua shamba, hata unaambiwanga tu nunua shamba kwange nayo, hata unaambiwanga
Ulione.
that's safety. So just bring us up to speed with what is there as opportunities in the real estate business.
Okay. So what I can start by mentioning is like what Warren Buffett says, real estate is valuable because it'll never increase.
Yes.
It'll never increase.
Buy land because there is no more supply.
Yes, we never discussed that.
There's no more supply of land.
Yeah.
And if you look at top 3 industries, when it comes to wealth, it's either, now even before tech came to knock other people out, it used to be real estate, finance.
Yeah.
So tech still holds in communication, right?
True.
But real estate and finance still appears there. Even these tech guys, they have real estate to hold. So
Even when they make money in tech, they bring it to finance.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's always a store of wealth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's non-debatable, right?
Good point. Yeah.
Then now we get to the culture of Kenya and real estate in some cases. So what you've said, sometimes we've been taught to nunua shamba, hold it, figure it out. And initially, especially now if I talk about my parents' side, so them it was just buying land and speculating. But they're rich on paper.
But poor in cash.
Exactly. So for me, these days, I have to look at it from a point of view of cash flow. If you're getting into real estate, how are you doing it from a cash flow perspective? So there's a couple of things. You can start preparing. The 2 things is, advice as well is, always use other people's money when you're getting into real estate. Because you can never save yourself into a house. The house is 6M and you save up to 6M.
True.
Possible.
It's possible, but honestly,
it's very hard.
By the time you're doing that,
Yeah.
you'll have just gone through a couple of years.
Yeah.
So just initially just understand on how to use other people's money, and then now follow on.
Which is not a bad thing.
Which is not a bad thing.
Okay.
As long as you don't over leverage
Yeah.
as well.
Yes. Okay.
And then now figure out how you'll now get into cash flow real estate or bargain hunting. It's like one of the scenarios maybe earlier when it was times for land.
Yeah.
If you discovered maybe the Lamu port while they were announcing before it was built, at that time that's somewhere you can buy.
Yeah.
Because it was a bargain. Maybe an acre was around 100K before things picked up. If you're not in that scenario but you're doing all that research, it's also like forex. You really have to
Be
pay
informed.
attention to the pairs and all that, right? If you're not in that zone, now find something worth for cash flow basis. So talk to a professional. So either look for agents who are a professional in the industry and have made their name, and treat real estate as a business rather than just a commodity they're selling, because now they'll guide you on what to consider. Things like annual yield to show you how that compares against the market and other assets.
Okay.
Locations which matter, type of developer and all that. So that now you can start saving. So start saving when you're the right amount, maybe deposit. Look to how you can cover now the rest. Deposit usually is about 20%. So how do you cover the rest? The 80%, it's either you can do a SACCO, affordable home loan, or now, as things are coming up, rent to own. All those concepts, you're still using other people's money, but you're not over leveraged. So long story short, it's right now focus on cash flow generating real estate and do your homework. If you don't have the time to do your homework because you're employed or you're in the hustle, find the right professional who can help you with that. Yeah.
And as Nairobi, we've become congested.
Yeah.
And instead of space, now we are going up. Space is up there.
It's vertical.
It's vertical. How is that industry? How did we get there?
It's just urbanization. I can't say anything else about it, to be honest. Because if you go to China, it's even
Worse.
far much worse. And
Even first world countries.
first
they're
world
like
countries. Actually, that's the route they're taking. As in New York, you can buy, I don't know what they call it. You can buy the space above you so that no one else builds anything around.
So you buy air.
You can buy air. air and horizontal and vertical.
Okay.
So that no one buys above you too.
And
to
also
block.
to the side.
Exactly.
Tell me more about over leveraging, because I've seen how that has hurt very many people. But I'm more interested now to get just your perspective when it comes to developing, because most people assume. I've met very many people who assume, once you're in the building business, it's guaranteed you'll make money. But my view is there are very many people who've gone into that business and they've lost money in it, and they're even in bigger problems.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to just get your view on that, the concept of over leveraging.
Okay. I'll clarify on one thing. Are you thinking of building in a scenario to rent, or building to buy, or just both? Building to sell or building to rent, or either matters?
Either matters. But mostly just let's talk about the developer, the one who thinks, I'll start this build, then sell, make a lot of money. And then you kwama katikati.
Which we've seen.
Yeah, we've
happen,
seen a lot
right?
of buildings just get stuck.
Exactly. So this is, sometimes you may find a scenario whereby the person has started developing. They haven't secured all the funding they need. Because generally, I think you need to have 30% of the value of the project, and then you can secure the rest of the financing, and they're released in tranches. So someone might start the building thinking they'll go ahead and secure the finances, and then start selling the project off plan without having planned out the whole financing journey.
We'll go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you've started building, you're selling off plan, you're telling people put your 20% deposit here because that's what you're using to raise your 30%
yes.
and get it to a certain extent so that you go to the bank to ask for money. Because the bank told you, once you secure this number of sales,
we can come
we
now.
can finance you.
And the sales don't come.
Exactly. And then now you end up not doing your first step. People skip as well, which we really insist. And we see people just doing it over and over, is feasibility study. Feasibility study it's something that will cost you less than 1% of that project, but
It'll do all the work.
Exactly.
The groundwork.
But guys see it like it's very expensive. Someone to check, is this area right for sales? Is there any encumbrance? All those things about water table, etc. How can you structure even the units? How do you design the units? Sunlight orientation, balcony orientation, how to play around with space. So people just go and say, mini kona shamba, let me get architect tuende kazi. So if you did your feasibility right, you'd have even worked on a product which is sellable well enough. Because the things we've seen which are sellable, they usually even like 30% above around market rate, and they still sell out. Yeah. So feasibility first things first, then now planning your finance as well. Before you get started, you need to have known how will you finish this building. If anything goes wrong, how will you end up clearing? So now the over leveraging is you starting before you've sorted out the financing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've suffered that. There's a close.
You personally, someone
too very
around
close.
you. Yeah.
Ali, they also bought into the idea. So they were told, hey, these off-plan homes you can buy.
They over leveraged.
So no, listen, they bought the homes.
Yeah.
And then this guy didn't clear.
The developer, yeah?
Yeah. So the developer left them now the homes middle, and the developer declared bankruptcy. Said me, I'm not in a position to clear, so you're left with your structure. So you now have come to
Unfinished.
Yeah, you have to come back to your pocket and do the whole work of finishing and do the whole work, and that's a loss, a very big one.
A very big one.
And the only reason that happened to you was you bought into the hype or something of the sort. Like probably, and I've also seen now scenarios where developers, for those first homes, for them to gather the sales, they also put those first homes at a very low or cheap price so that they can make sales so that they can rush to the bank. But then when they rush to the bank, the money they are given is not enough for them to complete these homes. So it becomes even worse.
Yeah.
So now the bank has a problem.
Yeah.
The tenant has a problem. The developer has a problem. So the whole cycle is now stuck. That's why I was very interested to just get a gist of it.
How you just explained it. And even whoever you're talking about, from my understanding, you've mentioned like it's a townhouse.
Yeah.
So imagine someone who was buying a unit on a 3rd floor for an 8th floor building and things just to manner.
Yeah,
there's no salvage in that.
Yeah, that's
Because for
gone
you
like
to do that now, you have to...
Exactly.
Wow.
There's no salvage in that.
I have a question on that.
Wow.
I've always questioned it. I want to buy an apartment. It's on the 10th floor. When I go buy like a townhouse or a mansion, I have the house, I have the land.
Yeah.
Even if it's on a lease here, many years, I have it for many years.
Yeah.
But when I'm buying and I get, what do you get when you buy an actual house?
So in Nairobi County, it's what we call a sectional title.
Okay.
Yeah, before it used to be a leasehold, so now it's a sectional title.
Okay.
Other counties haven't moved to sectional title yet. So it's transitioning into other counties.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now it's usually a lease.
So you own that car section.
You just own that part.
That unit, you own it. So and then the people who bought the project usually form what we call a ownership association. It's a company. So all of the buyers there
Own a portion.
Own a portion. So it's
like you own
during
a
the purchase
share.
process, that price of the house, there's usually some what we call closing costs.
Yeah.
So it's not for you to form that company, the homeowners association company.
Yeah.
So all the buyers will form the company.
Yeah.
The developer usually exits. The plan is usually to exit maybe within 6 months through what we call a defect liability period. Because when you buy a unit, you might get some small damages. So those ones you can't be repairing out of pocket. So you'll tell the developer, so they stay around for 6 months, handle that, and then now they hand it over to the owners. Sometimes the owners will just tell the developer continue managing, or they bring in their own manager. But now they own a company which they have shares within the company as owners.
Okay. And I have a question which I'll come back to since we're on the technical bit. There's the story yako ukiuza silver I want to talk about. I just want that transition to where you came now. But since we're on this topic, I don't want to go off topic.
Yeah.
Housing bubble, America. The most recent Ken and I saw was China Evergrande. I don't know if you've seen of that one. It was one of the largest real estate around the world.
Yeah.
Evergrande. You remember it, Ken?
I've seen it on social.
So many units, no one. Now, connecting the two biggest economies in the world, it happened in US because like Ken was saying, because it was that point he said, where someone gets into this anasema and nothing can go wrong. And even the whole people as a collective unit, we think all the same. Real estate is that business. And we've seen it backfire in the US because of... In our industry, we normally say the fact that people believe something won't happen is what makes it actually happen.
Yeah.
What's that? Can it's reflexivity?
Yeah.
There's a term by George Soros. He was explaining that. But here, now, connecting US, China, Kenya, can we get to that point? Because us were not in the real estate, but we watch it, observe, and look at history. And we see all these buildings coming up, all that. There's a time when I remember we were looking for an office before we went to Lavington. We were just discussing it today. Ken was reminding me that we went to let me not mention it because nisichome picture for those people.
Praise by name, criticize by category.
We went someplace in Upper Hill. Very good building. Very good architectural building. No one.
Yeah.
So that's a problem in its own. So do you think now in Kenya we can get to a point of bubble and what is currently happening now? Kilelesho is just full of apartments going up, all those condos. What do you think about that?
For us, we refer to it more of a price correction rather than a bubble.
Okay.
Yeah, because of just how even complex those other markets are. Like the States, it used to be subprime mortgages. So mortgages bundled, sold to another.
Yes.
So those are like 3M mortgages just being moved all around.
Yeah.
So that market was so mature that a bubble can happen.
Yeah.
In Kenya, our market is not that mature. Because even as of today, there's a housing deficit within the country.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask, because very many people tell me that.
And that's for affordable. So affordable, you're talking about an
so
average.
we're at a deficit. Supply enough houses.
Joshi, that uncle of mine tells me.
Okay.
Because there was a point whereby it's like it meant affordable. If an affordable unit is a low quality unit, which shouldn't be the case, right?
Yeah.
But these days things are changing. You're seeing the landlords are stepping up, Kiasi. So the problem that there is suburbs. There's a price correction which may happen in the suburbs because now there's an oversupply within the Kileleshos and the Lavingtons.
Yes.
But strangely, they're still being occupied, right? And that's from my side, I see it from a hospitality perspective because hotel rooms, again in Nairobi, are not enough.
Yeah.
So that's now the apartments are covering for that gap.
Okay.
But we feel like the buildings are coming up at a very fast pace.
Yeah.
So maybe if something happens, it's a price correction, like what you've said about the offices.
Yeah.
There was a time it was just build a commercial building and you'll get tenants.
Yes.
Right? But now when you talk about outskirts, there's a shortage. There's how many times will you go to Emba, Nyayo, Rongai and see an estate set up like with 10 blocks
and
all that? Yeah. So it's very few. Because mostly it's usually landlords erecting one block. Yeah. So on that side, there's demand, not enough supply. On this other side is when maybe you can say there's a bit of an oversupply coming up. But you can't be too sure because again, numbers are not transparent in this market.
Oh yeah, true.
So if we had the numbers and we saw, would have been able to make a sure assumption.
Just a question. You said affordable ranging is which? How much would I have to? It's within how much? 3 million, 5 million. Okay,
so there's according to how the Kenya Mortgage Refinance Company and the government terms it, affordable is something under 10 million shillings.
Okay.
In terms of the value of the house. And then there's what we call affordability, because there's social housing, which now maybe it's up to maybe 3K per month. Then the next stage after that is affordable housing, which maybe ranges up to around 30K to 40K in terms of rent per month. Yeah.
Okay.
And back to my question, since I can see our time is far gone,
so
as we finish up, take us back your story. I like stories. Here, Ken tends to be more technical, which is good. May tend to bring out more stories. Then it blends in well. Silver. Where do you even getting silver?
Very interesting story.
Because it's more or less like what we do as we do online OTC commodities, buying gold, silver. You're selling actual silver. Actual silver. How did you get to that? And then how did you come and transition to what you do now?
Yeah. So it was around third year, whereby there's as much as you can get from your parent in terms of cash to sort out your extracurricular activities. Yeah. So hapo tu ni fair na lunch. So now it was the agenda was how can I be able to sort myself out, at least for lifestyle management, right? Yeah. So a friend introduced me to Isli. So there's an area in Isich, I've forgotten the name of that building. 2 buildings, purely, it's just guys selling silver and gold, whereby you identify what you want, they measure it, then you purchase it according to grams. So there's no how much is the bracelet, how much is it, how much is that. And it was really like 70% or 50% rate of what now was being sold out here.
Serious?
Yeah.
50%?
50% of course of them measuring.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So it was because, you'd find maybe like a bracelet which looks good, but since it's small, you're buying it at a lower price because of the grams, right?
Okay, yeah, because
silver and gold is measured in grams.
Yeah.
So the agenda was we used to get cash. You go, you buy a couple of stuff at Isli.
And this is an actual place, legit
stuff. You get like a whole building. It's like malls.
Yeah.
Guys, everyone in the shop just selling uko. So you buy your stuff, you go to school.
All those teeth that you need to put being sold there.
That's where they used to be gotten.
Yeah.
And this is back then.
This is back then. Ukoma 20, let me not mention here. And now I was the display. What do you call it? Mannequin or what? How you?
Oh, so you wear them.
So I'm wearing them. So that's where did you get that chain from? I'm like, I can sell it to you if you want it.
Oh.
Sell them rings, all that. Stock them because they used to pack in some bags. So I'd go showing guys. They buy.
And you're just doing silver.
Silver, yeah. Gold was out of budget for me. Okay. Otherwise, it would be fun.
Okay.
So sell to my neighbors when guys were getting into work, all that. So it sustained me through third year, fourth year. Even after clearing uni, when I first joined employment, I was still doing it. So I was even selling to guys at the office.
Your colleagues.
Yeah, I did a whole Facebook page. I went all out until now. I transitioned to job Vizuri. I couldn't get more time to go to Isli. So that's when I started thinking about the next business ideas.
So how did you come from employment, now that you've told us that story, into now your own business? What sparked you to change?
Another interesting story. So where I was employed, it was a company called Indra. Okay. So I was deployed to Libya, just post Gaddafi, after he was ousted. So the scenario there was no one was willing to take that job because of the security.
Wanted to go there.
Yeah. Exactly. I may say I'm in. So terms were pay me extra per diem for the risk and offer a house and a car. And they gave me all that. But now the thing was, because of lack of a social life there, I didn't have anything to do. So I just spent all my time. That's where I even started trading forex, because now I had all the time to read all the books I could read. Okay. So I started trading forex, and that's when I started formulating what else can I be doing. So during that time is when I started traveling here and there and started figuring out, I think I can maybe start a travel company, especially to sort guys out, because at that point, salaries couldn't afford us the type of travel we needed.
Okay.
So essentially, I started the travel company to help guys save for travel. And then whenever you're ready to travel, I introduce you to a couple of panel of agents. Too early for the time as well, so I just ended up... Actually, one agent, when I was talking to them to add them to a panel, he just told me, so you start your own company. So that's how Veki came to be. So I started it as a travel company. And yeah, from there, while I was running job, I was also managing it. Unfortunately, along the way, we were declared redundant. So it was just a switchover. And that's now when I went fully self-employment. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have one last question. How can someone now join Nestie? So I go download the app, fill in. So just take me through.
Okay. So you can find us on nesti.africa, the website, or Nestie Africa on socials. So once you get there, you'll find the links to download the app on Android or Google Store. All you need is just to provide normal KYC. We're not asking too many intrusive information. Then you provide your landlord details. So at the end of the month, we also help you build the habit of paying rent on time. So you'll have WhatsApp notifications reminding you to pay rent.
Okay.
Once you pay rent now, go to the app, click pay rent. The rent is collected through Nestie, immediately disbursed to the landlord, and you start building your rent score.
Okay.
So immediately, so you don't hold on to the cash.
We don't hold on to the cash. We also send you notifications once the funds have reached the landlord. So it's just helping you. The fact that you're paying through our app is just for the fact of tracking.
Yeah.
Okay.
But rent gets to your landlord immediately.
Directly.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Good. Yeah, that's fact. I can attest for that. I've used it for a couple of months. So, yeah, what you're saying is true. I get the notification, the text, immediately I pay. A text comes in, all that. I confirm with my landlord or the caretaker. Peana sema amepata.
Yeah.
And all good. So anything else? Parting shot to real estate guys.
Parting shot mainly is just obviously real estate is something guys need to consider in the portfolio while balancing along with other assets. So it's never a fact of real estate against MMF or real estate against bonds. It's how can you get MMF, bonds, and real estate.
Yeah.
Second thing is, again, always use other people's money. And for the entrepreneurs out there is stick to the plan. When things feel like they're going wrong, come back, look at your notes, assess the scenario, and remember to stick to the plan.
On that point, as we finish, was there a point you felt like giving up?
Yes, boss.
Is that even a question?
Hey, enough times.
Did you have it many times?
Did you have?
Did you had that feeling many times?
Yeah, there's enough times, especially when the market is not responding.
Yeah.
It's, you think you're the one who's wrong. At first, when you're starting as an entrepreneur, you have a lot of hubris. Yeah. You're arrogant, confident, because you thought your skills in employment will apply to the entrepreneurship world.
Yeah.
So then you start getting rude shocks along the way. Mm-hmm. So market not reacting right. Because you're here in 2022 is when we started this journey. Mm-hmm. And right now is when the rent side of things is working out.
Yeah.
So before it was just the sales side of things. So now it's just stick to the plan. So there's enough times. So pivot. Once you feel that's happening, understand why the market is not reacting.
And pivot.
Okay. But also, just know when to find the balance of don't pivot yourself to death as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't go too far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense. David, may I have many questions, but I think we'll do that at a future date. I'll also do more research on the real estate and try a few things. So we'll continue talking much about that. But as we finish, just a reminder, Ken and I are big followers of the Tony Elumelu Foundation. And the man himself, TOE, as he hashtag TOE. And I think he's an inspiration to many young people. And we believe you went through the program.
Yes. I went through the program as vacay. That was in 2018. It was like a gruesome process. So at that time, I was just looking out for any applications, to be honest, because I was looking for funding at that time. And I was looking out for any applications. So I bumped into his online, applied. 30-minute process. At that time when you're going through a lot of applications, you just apply and forget something. Then soon enough, they sent us the email, and we saw that we had been entered into the program. So it was an online program at that time.
Oh, it wasn't physical?
It wasn't physical.
Okay.
So the one for Alibaba Global Initiatives was the physical one in China.
Okay.
So you had to go...
We had to go to Hangzhou.
Okay.
And that was last year. Very, very, very serious nuggets in terms of what we learned, because now they took us through just AI and how AI is planning. It's planting itself into the new economy.
This the China one or the
China one?
Okay.
Because Elumelu was 2018.
Yeah, that was a while back.
Exactly. So back then, it wasn't AI wasn't a buzzword. So Elumelu just took us through a very gruesome process of business building, how to think critically when building a business, and how to think as a corporate when building a business. Because sometimes entrepreneurs just build short term. And when you reach the 5-year, 10-year stage, just get strained. So for them, it's how to build a business that outlasts you.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Okay. So we'll talk more about that, but
definitely
it was an idea worth mentioning.
Looks like we may need another session.
We haven't even covered most questions we had here, but anyway. So other than that, thank you, David. Thank you for your time. All the best with Nestie. Anyone who'd want, we'll put a link below, so they can click the link below and just get familiar with it. I advocate for it. I've used it, so my followers of the audience, you can go ahead and use it as well. So thank you for your time.
Asante for having me as well.
All the best with Nestie, and we look forward to having you in future again.
Thanks.
Thanks
for hosting me.
No problem. So everyone at home, like we always say, stay
woke,
stay financially literate. See you soon.